Hi, this is Todd Stramel. I'm in Dr. Moody's Foundations of Education class, and this is my second RLO over cultural diversity. The quote I chose is, "We could learn a lot from crayons. Some are sharp, some are pretty, some are dull, some have weird names, and all are different colors. But they all fit nicely into the same box." I thought that fit pretty well with cultural diversity, considering that we all have differences about us, but when you put us together, each one of us has a part to play. So I like that quote a lot. What is cultural diversity to me? To me, cultural diversity is just the differences that people bring to their situation. So the different beliefs they have, different ideas they get, ways of doing things, all of those are considered cultural diversity for me. And I have a picture of different types of people holding a big key, and that went well with another quote that I found, and it was, "The key for diversity to work is for everyone to work together." So that was pretty cool to be able to tie that into there. A little bit about my culture. I was born and raised in Hayes, and that's where I currently live still. This is a sign that people see when they come down into Hayes from the interstate, and it's sitting up there on Vine Street. It's a pretty cool little welcome sign. We have a local artist named Pete Felton that does a bunch of stone statues around Hayes, so he carved the stone for that. And then this is a picture of downtown Hayes, just on 13th Street. There's the Fox Pavilion and our public library and some other downtown businesses and things down there. The Fox Pavilion's used a lot of times for different parties or dances. Occasionally they're held there, things like that. It used to be an old movie theater, but they redid it, so now it's rentable. It's pretty cool. And we have a couple historic sites here in Hayes. We have the Sternberg Museum of Natural History that's run by Fort Hays State University. It's kind of by the interstate, and that's just our natural history museum. They have lots of fossils and things like that in there. And then this is our old Fort Hays. It was a military fort in the 1800s, used just by the military as a kind of base for the West. So you can go and take tours and learn a lot about the history of that there. And this is my family. I have my mom and dad right here. This is a picture of them after they got married. They're a little older now, but they still look pretty close to the same. And then this is a picture of my brother. His name's Grant. He lives in Nebraska. He works at a sound company up there, so he's always gone, but we see him on the holidays, so that's nice. And his girlfriend still lives here in Hayes, so I get to see her every now and then, so we can go have dinner with the family and things, and it's very wonderful. In my family, food is a very big deal. We like to eat a lot, and it may not look like it, but we eat all the time. A normal breakfast for us whenever we're together, usually either cold cereal or oatmeal, and then every now and then we'll get fancy and go with eggs and bacon and toast or sausage, something like that. But pretty standard breakfast. And then for lunch, a lot of times we do either cold sandwiches, lunch meat sandwiches, or chicken breast sandwiches, something like that, or we just heat up leftovers that we've had in the fridge. We don't really cook a lot for lunch. Usually it's pretty quick and easy. Dinner, however, we usually like to mix it up for dinner. There's not really one type of food that we stick to. We like to eat all different types of food. One of my dad's favorite dishes to make is stuffed bell peppers, so we always eat stuffed peppers. And then we eat a lot of vegetables in my family, so salad is almost at every meal. And usually it's a homemade salad. My parents have a big garden, so they always include their own vegetables. And a lot of times we eat stir fry or just fried rice or something like that. It's pretty easy and it's always delicious. And then there's the classic pasta, either spaghetti or linguine, something like that. We always make a lot of pasta, so dinner is always good. My brother, my father, and I are not real big dessert eaters, so mostly desserts my mom's deal. She has a pretty big sweet tooth. She likes to make homemade pies and cakes and things like that, but usually my brother, my dad, and I are always too full for dessert, so we're not really big into dessert. These are a couple of my friends. This is my best friend and my roommate Cody. We've been best friends for about 15 years now. And then this is one of our other friends, Danielle. We always hang out and have lots of memories and good times together. And these are all my friends from high school that I still hang out with. This is Tyler Nelson, Matt Hull, Wayne, Brendan, and Andrew, and that's Matt again. And we always hang out and we get into ridiculous adventures and have tons of stories together. So they're my group of guy friends I hang out with the most. They're awesome. Some hobbies that I enjoy doing in my free time, a lot of times I read. I like reading fiction, and currently reading The Lord of the Rings again, so I have lots of reading to do. But I like to read, and when it's nice out in the summer, I like to frisbee golf a lot. And then whenever I'm in the mood, a lot of times I just like to sit down and just listen to music and just kind of zone out for a little while. Holidays in my family, we celebrate all the normal holidays, but we have 3 big ones we really kind of go crazy for. Thanksgiving, like I said earlier, we eat a lot in our family, so we always eat a whole bunch for Thanksgiving. Christmas is pretty big in our family too. We always go pretty crazy with the Christmas lights on the house, and the tree is usually pretty elaborate. But always a big dinner with Christmas as well. And then 4th of July is my favorite holiday. We always spend lots of money on fireworks and probably get into a little bit of trouble, but that's okay. But yeah, I love 4th of July. Some of the music I listen to, a lot of the music I listen to now is what my dad ended up listening to while I was growing up, and so there's a lot of Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Rush, stuff like that. And then classic Beatles, still love listening to the Beatles. And then my dad introduced me also to a little bit of folk, so I like to listen to John Denver every now and then, especially when I'm doing homework. It kind of calms me down, more relaxing. So this is my high school. Like I said, I was born in Hayes, so I went to Hayes High School. In Hayes High, I was in choir and track and field and band, and I was always pretty involved. So I had a really good time in high school. Lots of good memories there. Some people didn't like it so much, but I had a blast, so that's fun. We do vacation quite often. My mom's family's all from Kansas City, Missouri, so we always go to Kansas City at least a couple times a year. And then my grandparents own a cabin in Salida, Colorado, so a lot of times we go skiing and snowboarding in Colorado. So that's one of our main vacation spots. And then lately I've been going to British Columbia often. I go there every couple months. My girlfriend lives there, so I visit her all the time. But it's a beautiful city. I love Victoria. It's just northwest of Seattle, and it's always gorgeous weather and so much to do. I love it. And that pretty much wraps up my presentation. So thanks for watching, and I hope you learned a bit about my culture.